Hi, if you're muted, we can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot, Mommy. Thanks. Appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. How you guys doing today? How's everyone doing today? Just give me reactions, or you could drop a comment in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling today. How are we doing today? Awesome. Cleansy, Uche, Esther, Moses. I can see all the tongues are coming in. Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Peter, Lillian, awesome. All right, so let's get to know each other. I know we're just starting. You're just meeting this guy that is speaking to you. You know, you want to listen to him, but I want us to have a wonderful time today. I want this session to be absolutely memorable for you. I don't want it to just be like any other random session that you just attend. You're just on your bed and you click on the link because somebody said you should join the session. I want you to be involved because this what we're going to be talking about today is literally going to be affecting your future. Okay. I was literally spent the entire week reading about the UKY papers and the reforms that they're bringing to immigration within the UK. And I'll tell you this: if you're not informed, you're likely going to just wither away. So I want this session, I don't want it to be too technical and me talking reforms and immigration and all that. I want us to have a wonderful time. I want you to finish the session and be like, this guy has done a fantastic job. I have learned something new. I've learned something I can start to do today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Something you can start to do today. Now. You just finish the session in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes, and you're jumping straight into implementation. That's literally what I want to do in today's session. And the painful thing is, if I don't make it engaging for you, you will not enjoy it. You won't be able to implement anything. So I want you to engage with me. I want you guys to talk to me. I don't want to feel alone in today's session. Okay. I want to talk to you. I want us to have a wonderful time. Okay. I want this to be an experience for you. That's what I want to do. Okay. So if you're with me, please, if you're with me, put a yes in the chat. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. Yes, put a yes in the chat. Let me test the energy level. Let me test the energy level. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, put a yes in the chat. Okay, give me a yes in the chat if you're with me. Nobody's with me, only one person. Anderson is the only person I want to enjoy today's session. Is that what I'm saying? All right, Moses, same thing. Okay, I understand. Okay, Uche now. All right, also, and this is what I'm feeling better. I'm getting better. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. All right. So without wasting too much time, this session today is going to be about an hour 30 minutes, ridiculously. Okay, and we are going to be talking about something that is something very important, and that is immigration. Immigration, everybody wants to Japan, everybody wants to move to the UK. Some of you are currently based in the UK, all right? But you're looking at how can I stay back? Okay, what's the rule for me in the next couple of years? What's the rule for me to stay back in this country in the next couple of years? Those are the things that we are going to be talking about in today's session. Okay, so everything immigration, everything good salary, everything good paying job, not every time care job. Okay, and I'll tell you some of the major changes that is happening to the immigration process. Okay, so I want to know where you guys are joining from because I want to know how I can tailor it better to suit you better. Okay, so where are you joining in from today? So just put it in just the country, it's fine. So if you're currently in the UK, just put in UK. If you're currently in Nigeria, put in Nigeria. In Ghana, you are in Germany, Ireland. Okay, awesome. All right, so I have Anderson UK, Clinton UK, Ayomide UK, Moses UK. All right, quite a number of people from the UK. I want it more, okay, so I know exactly the spread. So if you're in Nigeria, how does it apply to you? You also need to put it there. So if I don't see a lot of Nigerians, I probably not talk too much on that, okay? Or you're not in Africa at the moment. All right, so we have quite a number of people from the UK. Also, this is fantastic. I love this. I absolutely love this. So without wasting too much time, ginger. Let's go. I'm going to share my screen and then how does it apply to you? Don't worry, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead to share my screen and then we can start the session immediately without wasting too much time. Without doing what? Wasting too much time. Let's go straight into it. So we're going to be talking about understanding the UK papers on immigration reform and jobs that would land you sponsorship. That's the key thing. So we're going to be talking also about the key strategies to help you secure a UK sponsored job now, not tomorrow, not next month, next year. Something you can start to implement today, things you can start to implement today that would help you get that sponsored job, essentially. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. So how many of us are currently doing anything within the tech space? Let me see. How many of us are doing something within the tech space? Okay, either you're taking a course, or you're taking, just put the one in the chat, either you're taking a course, or you are currently learning, or you did a master's, or you did something in tech, and and if you've not done anything, put a zero, okay? Put a zero in the chat if you have not done anything in tech. Anything tech, you've not taken a course, you've not taken anything before, you're literally just a beginner, like you've not done anything, you just have an interest. Okay, let me see. So we have a couple of ones, okay? Couple of ones in 2 years, rusty, that's not too bad. 2 years ago, not too bad, that's okay. A time to zero, okay. So the reason why I'm going to be talking about tech in specific, okay, I'll tell you the reason why in the session today. I'll tell you the reason why. I'm not gatekeeping it, no gatekeeping any information. I'm literally going to tell you the reason why it's imperative for you to get into the tech space now, okay, especially when it comes to immigration, okay. Now, if you look at the total landscape, I'm not even talking about the UK. I'm currently based in Canada, okay? I lived in Ireland, I lived in the UK, and I'm currently living in Canada, all right? And I'll tell you this, in the last 10 years, immigration has actually opened up to literally countries that never used to open up their borders to people. Immigration has opened up significantly in the last 10 years. And now, what do you think is the major reason why this immigration was opened up to most countries? So if you go to Germany, there's one immigration pathway. You go to France, there's one immigration pathway. You go to the UK, there's an immigration pathway. You go to Australia, there's immigration pathway. Canada, immigration pathway. US, immigration pathway. Literally all the countries across the world have their own immigration pathway. And it is selected to some certain set of people, not to everybody. It's not everybody that qualifies for it. It's not open to literally everybody in the world. It's open to some certain type of professional. And some certain type of professionals have taken advantage of this pathway. And that is majorly guys within the tech space. So like I said, I started in Ireland, started my jackpot journey in Ireland. I moved from Ireland to the UK. I moved from the UK to Canada. Some people have moved from Cyprus. I moved to Cyprus first, moved from Cyprus to Germany, from Germany to move to, and this is all tech pathways. So if today you're saying everybody is going to tech, I don't want to do it because everybody is doing it. That's another conversation, okay? Well, in the last 10 years, the reason why majority of these companies, the majority of these countries have opened up certain pathways to tech professional is because of one keyword, is the race within AI implementation, AI tech implementation, and so on and so forth. Every country in the world has what they call tech shortages. And we're going to focus more on the UK today. Just to let you know, just preamble, before you start to get into something, you need to start small. So this is a preamble, okay? So there are tech shortages within every country in the world. Even in the US, there's tech shortages, all right? In Canada, massive tech shortages, okay? Now, when I take tech shortages, it means there are jobs, but there are less people to fill the job, okay? There are jobs, but there are less people, okay, to fill in that job. That's exactly what we call tech role shortages, okay? We're going to explore some of these roles. What are these roles that fall into that category? These things we're going to talk about them today. So you are aware, okay? You are aware. It's not like nobody told me, they didn't tell me, nobody said anything. I attended a Femina session and a Femina did not tell us this information. It's not going to be that situation. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about immigration reforms that are going to come to the UK and how you can position yourself. Okay, so that's basically what we're going to talk about in today's session. I'm excited. I'm totally excited. I want you guys to learn something today. So I'm going to, who is hearing of Amdari for the first time? Let me see. Just put a 1 in the chat. If this is the first time you are hearing of Amdari, this is the first time you're hearing of Amdari. Let me see. 1 in the chat. One. First timers in the house. First timer. Let me see the first timers. All right. First timers in the house. We have a special seat for you. We're going to bring you to the front of the class. Okay. We're going to bring you to the front of the class. Okay. So raise up your hand. We're going to bring you to the front of the class. We have my colleague here. My colleague Femi, Toby Femi, Ozichi is here. Omoumi is here. They will take you to the front of the class, and we have a special package for the first timers in the house. Okay. All right. So welcome, guys. Welcome. Well, if you're just hearing of Amdari for the first time, Amdari is a revolutionary platform, to be very honest with you. So one of the major problems within the tech space, or even within the employment space at the moment, is work experience. It's work experience. So if today you want to become a mechanic, all right? In order for you to get a job as a mechanic, you need to have shown your past experience. You need to show them that you've repaired cars in the past. If you want to become a tailor today, you want to get somebody's contracts, you want to sew somebody's clothes, you need experience. Nobody's going to give you their clothes to sew for them if you don't have experience. And that's the same thing within the tech space. So everybody needs experience in order for you to get a good job. In order for you to even get a job, you need experience. So experience is the number one factor that has hindered quite a number of people transitioning into the tech space. And guess what? That is literally what Amdari does. Amdari provides you with quality, hands-on project, hands-on experience that you can use in getting the job of your choice. So if you're interested in data analytics, for example, but you've never really worked in the capacity of a data analyst, that's exactly where Amdari comes in. You can come to work with us, okay? We'll give you quality projects, we'll give you that real-life experiences that you need in order for you to get a job eventually, in the space of data analytics, data science, business analysis, project management, SOC, cybersecurity, so on and so forth. So it's the only platform out there that provides you with quality and real world experience that you can use in actually getting a job. Okay, so I'll talk more about Amdari. I'll talk more about Amdari. So let's put a pin on this. We'll come back to Amdari. Okay, so now, what are we doing today? So like I said, today's session is going to be a very quick one, 1 hour, maximum 1 hour, 30 minutes. Okay, but I'll try to keep it within 1 hour. Okay, number one is understanding the UK white papers on immigration. Okay, immigration is very important. Either you want to move to the UK or you're in the UK and you want to remain in the UK, you need to listen. That's the reason why we're having this today's session. Okay, number two is becoming a tech professional and securing a job. So at the end of the day, I'll tell you the reason why we're going to be talking about. I've given an hint already to why tech is very important in this conversation. All right. Now, number three is the Amdari Work Experience Program. I would also link it to the reason why you need to become a tech professional. And the last but not the least is we have a special offer for everybody. So if you wait till the end of the session, you just wait, be patient enough to listen, learn, and wait till the end of the session. We have a special offer for you. Nobody else, only you. All right, just you. You listening to me today, we have a special offer for you. So that's what we're going to be doing. Just 4 things we're going to be discussing in today's session. So let's fire away. So for today's session, give me a second. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So these are the 4 things we're going to be talking about. My laptop is trying to act on its own, but leave that alone. Let's talk about immigration. So, while I was preparing for today's session, while I was preparing so hard for today's session, I got a win on the topic and I was like, okay, do you know what? This is what I'm going to be talking on this week. I want to do well to present to you guys all the information that you need in order for you to have an understanding on what immigration is all about and all that. So I spent a good part of this week reading on the UK immigration papers, the new reforms that are going to be coming to the UK. So what even makes me viable for me to speak to you on this particular topic? Can you guys still hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. All right. So my name is Ifemena April. I am the co-founder to Analytics. I'm Dari. I'm Dari. And in the last 10 years of my experience, I've helped a ton of professionals secure and land their first job within the tech space. Okay, I'm Nigerian, so I started my career also in Nigeria as a management consultant. I studied economics in university, so I'm not coming from a non-technical background. I'm coming from a non-technical background, and I also transitioned into the tech space. And guess what, guys? It took me 2 years for me to transition. 2 solid years of hard work, learning and failing and everything. It took me 2 years for me to get my first job in the tech space. All right. Well, you see, once I got that first job, everything just became so fast, so quick, so easy, and so on and so forth. So you see, the major problem with most people, especially when it comes to the tech space, is getting their foot into it, getting the first job. The first job is usually the hardest, to be very honest with you. And that's exactly part of the things we're going to discuss in today's session. So I have a ton of experience in the tech space. I also have a ton of experience in the immigration space, because when I left Nigeria, I had no plans of going back to Nigeria, okay? And I'm pretty sure some of you were in the same shoes. So the first place I went to was Ireland, okay? And in Ireland, we have the Stamp 2 and Stamp 4. Stamp 2 for people that go to do your masters, you go to your masters, okay? A year, most times in Ireland, it's about 12 months to 16, 18 months, ridiculously, okay? You do your masters and you get 2 years to work to get a sponsored job in Ireland, okay? So I understood, I needed to understand your immigration in Ireland. So I got a job, eventually was sponsored, but I wanted something to be more, a different environment, and I've always loved the UK, so I moved to the UK, all right? But I wasn't sponsored, okay? I got to the UK, started looking for sponsored jobs. Eventually, I was able to get a sponsored job, stayed in the UK for a couple of years, and then I moved again to Canada on another pathway through the tech program, okay? So you see, tech has really taken me so far. That's taken me so far. At least now, currently, I've lived in 3 countries, okay? I've worked with businesses literally across the world because of one skill that I learned a couple of years ago, okay? And I'm still relevant because currently I work as a data and AI contractor. So what I do is implement data initiative for companies in UK, US, and Canada, and also implementing AI for businesses literally across the world, okay? Literally across the world, okay? I can have clients in Nigeria, I can have clients in South Africa, it really doesn't matter. I implement solutions literally anywhere in the world, okay? But we're going to come back to this conversation about, today is not about Ifemena, today is about immigration, okay? So let's go straight into the conversation, okay? All right, I'm not sure why my slide is messing me up like this. Okay, sorry guys, just give me 1 second. Okay. I think I probably have to just make adjustments to the slide. Okay. So like I said, so going straight into immigration, there are quite a number of changes that are going to be coming in the next couple of months, to a year, because it's a soft implementation process. Okay. Give me a second, I'm going to restart my PowerPoint again. Sorry guys, this is not normal. You know, any power that wants to ensure that I don't complete the session, that I don't even want you to listen to me, you're consumed, okay? So I will just keep it this way. I think my presentation mode is causing a lot of problems, so I will just keep it this way, okay? I'll keep it this way. All right, so there are 2 documents for me to prepare for this session today. There were 2 documents. You see, my colleague at the start of the session said something very important, and I want to reiterate on it. You need to fill the attendance because you need to read this document yourself. So I've taken out time to read these documents, these 2 documents this weekend, this week, okay, the last week, okay? They're very big documents. So if I click on the link for the first one, for example, let me show you the link to this, okay? So when I click on the link, all right, it takes you to this particular document. It's a 82-page document talking about restoring control over the immigration system. And this was published in May 2025. Okay, this was literally last month. Okay, so restoring control. So when you say restoring control, you know that these people are not here to play about immigration. They're not here to play. Okay, all right. So that's the first document. If you click on the second document, it also links to another PDF document that gives a very detailed outlook to what immigration is going to look like in the UK in the next couple of years. Okay, so the UK immigration white paper, big changes leading to bigger questions within immigration in the UK. So if you want to get access to these documents, fill the registration form. Okay, so you can sit down at your own time. Nobody's talking to you. You can read it and digest it by yourself. But like I said, I've taken out time to do the research, to read it and break it down so that you can understand it a lot better. Okay, so there's one statement I would like to say in this. So when I was reading this document, something popped up in my head. When I was growing up, I'm Nigerian, like I said earlier. I had two uncles. Okay. I had more uncles, but I'm going to be talking about the two of them, okay? So there was one of them that traveled to the US, okay? That traveled to the US and was living a very normal life, okay? It wasn't doing like a corporate job. It wasn't doing anything fantastic. Okay? It was just working. I didn't know what work it was doing, but I knew it wasn't corporate because, it was always complaining about work-life balance. It was always working hard, working night shift and all that, okay? Then I had another uncle that was in Europe. Okay, it was in Europe. So I knew he went to do his master's. He did his master's. And I noticed that this guy was always learning something new. Okay, so if I was speaking to him this month, well, this guy is learning something in architecture. In the next couple of months, maybe in a year, this guy is taking another program in something else entirely. He's taking the program in something else entirely. So you see, one was doing the working hard, working night shift, working 5 jobs and everything in the US. There's another uncle in Europe that was sort of learning new technologies, learning new things. And, fast forward a couple of years, into the future, like let's say about 20 years into the future, all right? The one in Europe is super successful in a career, super successful. I'm talking about he has different properties in Ireland, he has different properties in the UK, he has different properties in Germany. He has lived like in different countries in Europe, and he has properties, he has investments and all that. Very big, very gentle, very nice guy. Okay. And the other uncle that I personally, the other one in the US is currently not even working at the moment because it's old and he can't really do the kind of manual labor kind of job he was doing before. All right. So when I was reading this document, it struck a chord with me. Okay, and I remember that uncle in Europe telling me that there were certain changes to him staying back in the country. So anytime there was a certain change in the economy, okay, if there was a demand for a certain type of profession, it would go and learn it. It would go learn it, okay, and understand the market, understand everything, and make good use of that knowledge and that experience in making as much money as he can. So from architecture, it moved into computer science. For computer science, it moved into engineering. It did quite a number of things, right? And currently successful. So you see, when I was reading this document about immigration, some people would read it, and some people would say that the UK is not a great place for me anymore because the immigration is becoming too stiff. It's becoming too tight. Okay, it's becoming not friendly for most immigrants. But you see, there were things that you need to know, and that's exactly why I came up with this statement. And I want you guys to take this statement very, very serious. It is become aware. Okay? Become aware. That's the first thing you need to know. Become aware. Okay? First thing. Number 2, become smart. And last but not the least, become exceptional. 3 things you need to know today. If you're aware, okay, so what makes you smarter than the next person? It's because there is a knowledge that you have that is better than the next person. Okay, so if you say somebody is very smart, it means that if I ask you a question, you can provide answers to that question. Okay, who is the first president of the US? When did the World War III happen? World War II, World War I? Who was affected? What happened in Japan? You ask a couple of questions. The person is able to give you answers to those questions. You definitely will say that person is smarter. So what makes the person smarter is nothing more than information, being aware of it. So become aware, you become smarter, and you become exceptional. And that's the reason why when I was reading this, I was like, You guys are going to be learning a lot in today's session, to be honest with you. All right, so become aware, become smart, and become exceptional. That's the simple thing that you need to know at the back of your mind. So some people will read this and say that this is too much for me to read, too much for me to do. I don't like it anymore. I'm leaving the UK. So some people will read it like I have done and would say that there is so much opportunity for you to be in the UK today. And that's exactly what we're going to be exploring. Okay. So if you want to get access to those documents, please fill the registration form so you can read it yourself. Okay. You can assimilate it yourself. Okay. So why is this white papers document? Why is it important to you? Why is it important to me? Why is it important to everybody in the UK? Why should it be important to everybody? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about now. So UK immigration changes. So the goal for them, to be honest with you, the goal for the government is to significantly reduce immigration, to significantly reduce migration. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. They want to reduce the number of people that are flocking into the country. Okay? They want to reduce it. So as of 2024, when they did their statistics, it was over 906,000 people that had finally immigrated to the UK. Over 906,000 people. Okay? Now, in 2023, 2022, the number was about 284,000. The number was around 284,000. So in the span of like 2 years, immigration has increased exponentially from 284 to 906,000. All right. So you see, everybody wants to come to the UK. All right. So the goal for this white paper, the goal for this particular reform in terms of immigration is to reduce the number of migration. Now, when they say to reduce something, quality, they want quality set of people. They don't want any other type of people. They want the quality type of people. So like I mentioned at the start of the session, every country in the world today has pathways for tech professionals. Okay? So for highly skilled professionals, let me use the word highly skilled professionals, not just tech, highly skilled professionals. Okay? So now, an exception is there. So in every rule, all right, there's always an exception. Okay? So the exception to this particular reform that is coming in is you must have the right skill. Okay? You have the right. The second one is you must have real world experience. You must have real world experience. That's the second thing. And the third thing is you must have clear value. You must have a value that you're adding to the economy. All right. If you're not adding any value to the economy, you are going right. They're not in the type of people that we're looking for. So 3 things: right skill, real world experience, and number 3 is clear value. Clear cut value. Even with me, please give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat. Okay? Okay? Give me a 1 in the chat. If you're legally in the UK, don't worry, you're still fine. You're 100%. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're still with me, if you're following me, give me a 1 in the chat. Let's go. All right. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're with me. So it's just a few people that are with me. Interesting. All right. So let's go on. Okay. So the key things, key things around immigration that you need to know today. Key things are, I'm going to put it in slideshow. Okay, let me just keep it simple. All right. So the reforms, there were 8 things I picked out from the reform. There were 8 things that I picked out from the reforms. Number 1 is skilled worker route. Skilled worker route. So the minimum, therefore, the minimum for skilled worker route at the moment is a RQF of level 6. So RQF basically means, when they say RQF level 6, it basically means a minimum of a bachelor's degree, okay, or higher. So anything below a bachelor's degree, any kind of job that is below a level 6, you can't really get them. You can't migrate to the UK. All right, you can't migrate to the UK. So if you have less than a BSc, so you have a diploma, or you have some kind of, not a BSc essentially, you can't literally immigrate to the UK. So the minimum they are looking at the moment is the minimum of a level 6. So that is a minimum of a bachelor's degree, bachelor's in arts, or whatsoever, and above. So if you have a master's, you're also you're covered, 100% covered. Okay. And when I was looking at this, I was like, majority of the Africans that are moving to the UK have minimum of a level 6. Almost everybody has a level 6 that are looking at immigration to the UK. All right. But if you're looking for jobs, I know quite a number of people are looking at jobs in the care space. Okay. And most of these jobs don't really require you to have like a level 6. So you see that if you are depending on using a care route to remain in the UK, going forward, this will not be the case. This is likely going to be the case. Okay, so if you're trying to use carpentry, or you're trying to use, being a chef, or trying to go into all this non-skilled labor, okay, to come into the UK, it's not going to work, because the minimum should be an RQF level 6. So that's, you must have a minimum of a bachelor's degree, okay, in order for you to migrate to the UK. Now, the second thing is salary threshold. Salary threshold. This is very, very important, and you need to take note of the number I'm going to be sharing with you. You need to take note of this number. The salary threshold is a minimum of £38,700. It means that if you're going to be sponsored in the UK, or you want to remain in the UK, you must earn a minimum of £38,700 and above. Now, the minimum could also differ depending on the career that you're going into. Okay, it's also determinant on the career path or the job role that you're going into. But the minimum is £38,700. Now, if you rewind 2-3 years ago, guess what? If you had a salary of £29,000, you would get sponsorship. And I know quite a number of people that I worked with, even based in Nigeria, and moved from Nigeria to the UK. And their first salary were £28,500, £29,000, 30. So, at the time, that was about 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, you could earn 25, 27, 26,000 and get sponsored in the UK. But that's not going to be the case going forward. The minimum salary that you need to earn to stay back in the UK is 38,700. Now, do you guys think that is high or low? Let me know. Do you think this is high or low? Let me see. Do you guys think this is high or low? Do you think this is salary is high or low or medium? Let me see. Put it in the chat. Let's see. It's low. Fantastic. Okay, that's good. All right. Hill says it is high. Peter says it's high. Abraham says it's low. Okay. Okay. Keep going. Very, very high. We said very, very high. 38,700. To be honest with you, like I said, I've lived and I've worked in the UK. So when you see a salary of 38,700, it's not low. It's not low. I won't say it is low. I would say it is more medium, average. Okay, it's average, because I can tell you for a fact that the median salary in the UK is about £28,000. The median salary across different career paths in the UK is about £28,000 to £29,000. Okay, that's entry level roles to medium management and all that. It's about £28,000 to £29,000 per annum. Okay. Now, if you say you should earn £38,000, 38,700 is on average. I'll say it's in the middle. Okay, because a senior role in the UK starts from like £50,000. Senior roles usually start from like £55,000 per annum. So entry level roles, are way lesser than that itself. Okay, so essentially the whole conversation that we're having today is 38,700. So it's average. Okay, but in order for you to get that 38,700, it requires a little bit of work, and we'll talk about that in today's session. Okay, now this one is for people that are in the care space, or you are depending on the care space for your sponsorship. Now, social care visas, social care worker visa is going to be eliminated. Okay, so it will no longer be available. So if that's a major determinant for you to stay back in the UK, the reform is scrapping out anything that has to do with social care visa. Okay, So anything social care, that's your pathway, okay, to say that, okay, I want to stay back in the UK. If I don't get a job, I'm going to do social care and all that. That is going to be eliminated, social care worker. Now, the next interesting thing also is the graduate route. So when you go, typically when you go to the UK at the moment, you finish your master's, you get 2 years to work in the UK. You get 2 years. That is a total of 24 months. Okay, it's a total of 24 months. I'll tell you this: the reform has reduced it from 24 months to 18 months. Okay, has reduced it from 24 months to 18 months. So they're telling you, quickly get a job. We don't want you there for the next 12, the next 24 months. You need to be in this country for 18 months in order for you to get a full-time job that will sponsor you and that will pay you a minimum of £700,000 per annum. Okay? So you see, when you even look at the top 4 points that you have there, the skilled worker route, you need to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree, in which majority of us have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. Okay? The next thing is the salary threshold. You need to earn above a minimum of £38,700 per annum. All right? Social care worker is going to be scrapped totally. Graduate route, rather than spending 2 years in the UK, rather than spending 24 months in the UK, now it has been reduced to 18 months in order for you to remain in the UK. To get a job, to get a visa sponsored job that pays at least £38,700 per annum. All right? So give me a reaction if you're learning something new. Give me a reaction quickly. All right? If you're learning new things from this, please give me a reaction. Give me a reaction. Awesome. All right, just give me a thumbs up. That's okay. Okay, fantastic. So now the next thing is the ILR. ILR. That's the indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain. So you see, most people's plan is to do care job for the next 5 years, okay, and then get your ILR. Okay. So you see a lot of people are moving to the UK. And while I was in the UK, I interacted with quite a number of Africans, quite a number of people that would tell you, okay, let's do the care job for 5 years, just for 5 years. Do the care job for 5 years, and then you can get your ILR. Okay? And then when you get your ILR, you can quit the care job and you can start a business. You can start any kind of business. But now, obviously, the government have identified that people are doing that. People have those kind of intentions. Okay? And you see that's exactly why they're increasing the ILR timeline from 5 years to 10 years. Okay, so you need to work in the UK for 10 years in order for you to get your ILR. That's the indefinite leave to remain. Okay, so before it was 5 years. So you see a lot of people coming into the country, doing a menial job for like 5 years. Then after that, you get the ILR, then you can start a business or do something else entirely, or whatever the case, whatever they want to do. Okay, so that's the pathway for some people. But you see how they are being a bit more stringent towards ensuring that they get the only quality people remain in the country. So you can come to your masters. Now you can come to your masters in whatever part you want to get into. Okay, you can do your masters in whatever part you want to get into. But at the end of your masters, you must get a good job. You must get a great job, not a good job. You must get a good paying job that pays a minimum of 38,700. Okay, and it's a minimum of a bachelor's degree. So you can't use being a cook, being a shop cleaner, being a care worker, or being a any other non-skilled labor, or let's just say brown collar work. You can't use that to remain in the UK anymore. All right, and they've increased the ILR from 5 years to 10 years. Now, this is the plan. This is the plan that they're working on. Okay, this is the plan that they are currently working on. And the next thing is dependence. What happens to your dependent? What happens to people that you're coming with? One of the major things that stood out for me was everybody must write the test of English. Okay, everybody must write the test of English in order for them to follow you to the UK. All right, so that was something that stood out for me, and I felt like you also need to know it. So before, if your wife couldn't speak English and you're coming to do your masters, all right, it was fun. Okay, but in this situation, it's not the case anymore. They have to write the test of English just like you would write, or you would have to show proof that you know English. Okay, Now, the last two is the things that you need to take very, very important. Those are the very important things timelines that you need to know. Now, the first one is immigration salary list has been scrapped. Immigration salary list has been scrapped. So now, what did they replace it with? They replaced it with a tighter shortage list. They replaced it with a tighter shortage list. So a list of career paths that you can get to work with. Okay, a list of career paths that are within different sectors that have limited demand, or they have a lot of supply or limited people that have the skill set. Okay, so I'm going to share the list with you in the next couple of minutes. Okay, I'm going to share that list with you in the next couple of minutes. But essentially, they have scrapped what we call the salary list and they've replaced it with what we call the shortage list. The shortage list, career shortage list, and I'm going to share that with you in a few minutes. And the last but not the least is stricter enforcement and visa revocation. So things that you likely went away with or you likely scaled away from, okay? Now, any small infringement or any small violations can actually lead to them canceling your visa. Okay, so you want to play nice, you want to be nice, you want to do good things, you want to do the right things according to the UK government. If you're found wanting and you're found violating a particular rule or something, you can get your visa revoked. So essentially, these are the 8 things that I thought stood out for me, for everybody that wants to remain in the UK. Number 1 is skilled worker visa route, okay? And you must basically, when they say RPF 6, level 6, it means a minimum of a bachelor's degree. Salary threshold, you must get a job that will pay you a minimum of £38,700. Number 3, care worker visa has been scrapped, will be scrapped. Okay, it doesn't say has been scrapped, will be scrapped. Okay, graduate route, so after you finish your master's, instead of them giving you 24 months, it has been reduced, or it will be reduced for 24 months to 18 months in order for you to get a job that will sponsor you and get you to remain in the country. Indefinite leave to remain would increase from 5 years to 10 years. So rather than you working for 5 years, you will need to work for 10 years in order for you to get your indefinite leave to remain. Dependents also must show proof of English, okay? Immigration salary list has been scrapped and has been replaced with what? The shortage career list, okay? Then the last but not the least is stricter enforcement and visa revocations. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure after when I was talking about this, I'm pretty sure some people will be like, "This is too much information. This is too much." Okay, just because I want to live in somebody's country, I must do everything. I must get the salary. I must speak English. I must do this. I must do that. I must do this. I must, quite a number of musts that you must actually do. Okay. Well, I would always want you to remember, be aware, be smart, and be exceptional. Be aware, be smart, and be exceptional. So if you have the information I'm going to share with you today, now you know exactly what they're looking at. How can you position yourself? That's the key question you need to ask yourself. How can you position yourself to get into this? How can you bypass? Not really bypass, I won't use the word bypass, but how can you position yourself in order for these situations to be to your own advantage? And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So if you want to get access to all the documents we're using for today's session, please ensure you're filling the registration form so that you can get access to the materials, the recording of this session, and all the things that you need. Okay? Now, there are 7 things that you need to do. I broke it down into 7 things. Okay? Now, the first thing is you need to get skilled. If you remember my first slide, I talked about the things that you're looking for is the right skill, real world experience, and you must show clear value, okay, that you're going to be impacting the economy or impacting the country itself. Okay, right skill, real world experience, and clear value at the end of the day. So you see, the first thing that you need to focus on, the first thing you need to identify is skill. Skill. That's the first thing. I'm not talking about hairdressing. I'm not talking about plumbing. I'm not talking about, whatever it is. If I should ask you today, what skills do you have? Okay, if I should ask you the question, what skills do you have? Can anybody tell me the skills that they have? Just put it in the comments. Okay, what skills do you have? What skills do you have? What skills do you have? What do you say are you good at? Okay, what skills do you say you are good at? What skills would you say you're very good at? That's the question you need to ask yourself. A lot. Software engineering, fantastic. Communication, I think. Okay. So you see quite a number of people are talking, okay, software engineering also, vulnerability assessment, awesome, that's good. Okay, Chuku said a lot of things. It's just like one of the guys that I was prepping for interview just a couple of weeks ago, and the guy was telling me that, I was asking him, what kind of experience do you have in the past? And I was like, oh, I do a lot of things. What are these a lot of things? I mean, I anything in the office, I usually get it done. I'm like, what do you mean get done? What are you getting done? I do things. All right, I get things sorted out in the office. So, I mean, you're a project coordinator in your past experience. Okay, tell me what projects were you coordinating? Anything. Okay, tell me one project you coordinated. He doesn't know. All right, so you see, working in Nigeria, working outside the country is two different ball games entirely. Okay, it's two different ball games entirely. So some people are saying tailoring, someone says it's chartered accountant, land surveyor, and all this. So you see quite a number of people have different skills that they have. Some of them are relevant. Unfortunately, some of them are not relevant. So like I said earlier, for skills, you're looking for skills that would require a minimum of a level 6. Okay? A minimum of a level 6. That's a bachelor's degree. So you're an accountant, that's fantastic. You are a tailor, not so fantastic, because you don't need to have a bachelor's degree in order for you to become a tailor. Do you get me? So that's one requirement that you need to have at the back of your mind. What kind of skills do you have? And does it fit into the UK immigration, the limits and all that they are putting in place at the moment? Okay, so jobs below a bachelor's degree qualification won't qualify for skilled worker visa. So a care job, a tailoring job, a mechanic, a welder, whatever job that you're looking at, that doesn't require a level 6, would not get you the kind of job that you're looking for, would not get you to stay back in the UK, unfortunately. So, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, okay? The career shortage list, And that's exactly what the link I've provided here for you. You see, skilled work visa, eligible occupations, and the code. You see, I have 8 career paths in here. I have 8 distinct career paths. Let me just put it as numbers so you can clearly see yourself that these are 8 career paths that you have here. So we have the data analyst position, we have the business analyst, we have the data scientist, we have the project manager, we have the SOC and threat intelligence, that's cybersecurity, we have a data engineer, we have GRC, and we have ethical hacking. Now, there's a reason why I selected this 8 career path. And you can see the OR in the career shortage list. Okay, so let me click on the link, and this is why you need to fill the form so you have access to these links and you can check them out yourself. So you see here, this is the UK, this is the gov.uk website. Okay, so you see it here: skilled worker visa, eligible occupations, and the codes. Okay, they took this was updated 9th of April. That was about 2 months ago. Okay, April, May, June. So just about 2 months ago, this was updated. So everything that we're talking about today is with precise information, not I think or I feel or I presume. No, this is with precise information about how you can set up your career in the UK and be of benefit to you. All right. So you see this. So let's move on to this. So you have the occupation code, you have the job type, you have the related job titles, and you have the eligible for skilled worker. Okay, so if you're a tailor and you're looking at this, you likely will not find tailors in here. Okay, you likely will not find tailors, you likely will not find some type of professionals in here. All right, so you see this. Let's go straight into what we have here. So let's take a look at the data analyst. We have 2134, we have 2132, and we have 3544. So if we take a look at this, it's a long list of career shortage in the UK. So let's say let's see, what's the number again? 3544. Okay, 3544. So I can just scroll down. I've made it easy for you to go take a look at it yourself. Okay, so you see 3544, we have data analyst, and that is yes in terms of career skilled worker visa. Okay, so you see the other business associates, not else classified, business support staff, business systems analyst. So business system analyst, that's a business analyst essentially, okay, and so on. That also falls into the skilled worker visa. But like I said, I've taken our time to give you the codes that you can use that will show you the career path, and if you fall into the shortage list essentially. Okay, so project manager, let's take a look at that. 3543, 3543. So you see here 3543 project support workers, project support officers, and that's a yes. That falls into project management. Okay, so you see all these, okay, falls into the career shortage list. The other thing you need to consider also is a minimum salary of 38,700. How many of the career paths that you want to go into will give you 38,700 for a new entrant or somebody that is looking to get into that particular career path? Those are the things that you need to ask yourself. You need to be honest with yourself. Okay, so going into this career path, the reason why I've selected this career path is that they pay well. They pay well. There is a demand for these roles, and these roles also pay significantly better than most of the roles that you want to go into. Okay, so if you want to position yourself, the likelihood of you going through this 8 career path and you sticking to them and getting a good job, the likelihood is a big yes, a very big yes. Okay, so number one is the skills. Identify the skills that you're going into and ask yourself, does he have a level 6? Does he have a minimum of entry level of a level 6? And does it fall into the career shortage list? Those are the things you need to ask yourself. And like I said, I've provided you with the information. All you need to do is click on the link. You can go there to read it yourself and search yourself and take a look at it. Okay. The next thing is experience matters more than ever. So majority of the roles you're going to be applying to in the UK will require you to have experience. Okay, requires you to have experience, not certification. So if today you're still looking to get another certificate, you're looking to buy another course, you don't need another course, you don't need another certificate, you need experience. Okay, one of the guys with Amdari literally just got a job last week as a data scientist. Okay, now getting this job, and this guy has been in the UK for about over a year. Okay, after the masters, he has been searching for a job for over a year. Has gone through different career paths, has done different certifications, different programs, different boot camps, so on and so forth. Now, guess what? This guy got a job just about 2 months into Amdari. Just about 2 months into Amdari. Now, that 2 months, this guy has worked on a minimum of 4 projects. Okay, and can talk about when I went for the interview. He said the main thing that really stood out for him was the fact that they love the kind of project he had worked on. Okay, because he literally had to showcase some of the projects he had worked on. I implemented, AI, how he implemented machine learning, and so on and so forth. And eventually, this guy is currently working for one of the startups in the UK. All right, and is earning above £40,000. Okay, not even 38,700. Okay, his earning current salary is above £40,000. Okay, now this particular research was done, and you can clearly see that most entry-level roles require work experience. Now, this is entry-level roles. This is not advanced roles. This is not managerial roles. This is entry-level roles. So when you finish your master's, I know even me when I finished my master's at the time, I was looking at getting graduate entry roles. So the likes of, the way you have it in Nigeria, GT Bank entry level, Access Bank entry level, and the rest of them. So you see, imagine those kind of roles in the UK coming, asking or requesting that you have minimum of 2 years experience in order for you to get a graduate entry level role. Okay, so you see, but that's the case. That's literally the case with most entry level roles. And I usually tell most people from my own experience, there's actually nothing like entry level roles because they all require you to have experience. So entry level roles means that you don't need experience, you can learn on the job. But now, majority of them require you to have experience. So you see, at least 3 years experience, 8% of the job roles you will find will need you to have at least 3 years of experience, even for an entry level role. Okay? At least 2 years, 20% of the jobs that you see out there will require you to have at least 2 years of experience. At least one, that is 36% of the jobs that you find there. will find you to have at least 1 year of experience. So you see, it's imperative now to tell you that experience is exactly what you need in order for you to get a job. Experience is what you need to get a job in the UK. Not even in the UK, literally across the entire world. Experience is what you need to get a job. And I usually say this, okay? I use this example. Say, for example, you have a party you want to go to. You have a party, you have an event that you want to go to, and you want to look stunning in this event. Okay, you want to look amazing, you want to look fresh, you want to look clean, okay? And you need to get a tailor to sew you a cloth or a dress or a suit or whatever, to sew something for you. All right. And you have two tailors. One tailor that doesn't have any quality experience, but has gone to the best fashion school. This tailor has gone to the best fashion school, has just graduated from the fashion school, but doesn't really have any samples or anything that they've done. They can't show you proof of their actual work, but they can show you the certificate. Oh, I can show you my certificate. This is my certificate. I graduated best in this fashion designing school. Okay. Now, you now have another person that doesn't have any certificate. Okay, doesn't have any certificate whatsoever. Now, the person can show you different samples of people they've worked with. Oh, this is Mr. Foster. I made a suit for him when I was doing his wedding. I was the one that did the entire training, the suit that he wore. Oh, this dress that Miriam is wearing, I also made it. This is the picture of us, negotiating the size, the dressing and everything. Oh, this is another cloth I made for Omowumi. This is another cloth I made for Jovita. This is another cloth I made for Kende. So they don't have any certificate, but they can show you proof of their work. Who are you likely going to go with? Would you go with the person that has a certificate, or would you like to go with the person that can show you proof of their work? So you see, majority of the entry-level role, and I'm very sure all the answers are going to be the same thing. You'll go with the person that can show you proof that they've done it before, okay? That's literally the case. You will likely go with the person that can show you proof of the work that they've done before. So why do you think that's going to be different within the tech space? Why do you think that's going to be different? So even though you're an entry-level role or you're trying to get into a particular career path, they still need you to have experience in order for you to showcase. Just for you to be better than the next person, it's not certificate that makes you better. It's your experience that makes you better. Okay? So that's essentially the case itself. All right? So now, next thing is high salary. So we've talked about the skill, we've talked about the work experience. Now the next thing is salary. Now I mentioned this earlier. The reason why we selected those 8 career paths is because it fits into all these buckets that we're going to be talking about. Okay, skills, experience, and good salary, high-paying salary. So the minimum salary, like I said earlier, can anybody remember the minimum salary that you need to earn in order for you to remain in the UK with these new reforms? With the new reform, can anybody remember the salary rate? I mentioned it a couple of times. 38,700. So somebody said, I'm as a student presently studying data science in the UK. How is it possible to get it in 3 years? Don't worry, we'll talk about it in a few minutes, okay? So 38,700, that's correct. The minimum salary is 38,700. Now, if you look at the minimum salary, and the reason why I put it here, entry level, 0 to 2 years, the reason why I have this here is data analyst is for entry level role is between 30 to 40,000 pounds, 30 to 40,000 pounds. For data scientists, on the other hand, it is 40 to 50,000 pounds. For data engineering, 45 to 60,000 pounds. Business analyst, 35 to 45,000 pounds per annum. Project manager, 40 to 50,000 pounds. And then cybersecurity entry level role, 40 to 50,000 pounds. This is in the UK. All right. And you can definitely check it out yourself also. Now, the average salary is between 45 to 55,000 pounds in the UK for data analyst. Then data scientist is 55 to 65,000 pounds. So you see, these salaries are way above the threshold of 38,500, 38,700. Okay, so, and if you're looking at other roles that are outside these particular brackets, you likely would not be able to get a good role that would be able to pay, that will be able to go above the threshold that you're having there. So you see, those are the things that you need to take into consideration. So the tech space is definitely one of the highest, one of the best places where you can get great salary. Okay, and the good thing also is you don't need too much to get started. You actually don't need too much to get started. All those certificates and all those things that you are currently chasing, it's not so important. And I'm going to tell you why in a few minutes. Okay, so now moving on to the next one. Okay, we have indefinite leave to remain. So this has moved from 5 years to 10 years. So do you want to keep doing that menial job for the next 10 years? That's the question you need to ask yourself. So it was easy to say, oh, I can do it for the next 5 years and get something better in the future. Well, can you? I worked in a warehouse. When I was in Ireland, I never mentioned this, but when I was in Ireland, I worked in a warehouse. And I'll tell you, it was hard. Anybody that does a brown collar job or does, you work in a canteen, you work in a restaurant, you work in a warehouse, you work in care, it's hard work. Okay, so there are two things when you're outside the country. When you're outside the country, and I learned this also, is either you use your brain or you use your body. Okay, those are the two ways you can make money in the UK. Is either you use your brain or you use your body. Now, with using your body is like a machine. There is wear and tear. Even when I was working in the warehouse, I had back pain. I had so back pain. Okay, I had to start jogging, exercising, and all that in order for me to help with the back pains and all that. Okay, but you see, it's either your body or your brain you get to use to work. But now, at the end of the day, when you say 5 years, some people can really just think 5 years is down the line. I said 5 years is there 5 years? I'll get it done. But that's not the case anymore. It's moving to 10 years. So can you work in a warehouse for the next 10 years? All right? Can you work in the care space for the next 10 years? Can you do that work that you're doing today, working 80 hours shift every week? Can you do that for the next 10 years? Okay? That's the question you need to ask yourself. So in order for you to get, what I would just advise most people is get into a career path that allows you to use your brain. Okay? With your brain work, you can be anywhere and do your work. Currently, I'm based in the UK. I'm based in Canada. But I still have clients in the UK. I see I'm good at looking for new clients. I can go to the US to get new clients. I can go literally anywhere to get a new client that I can work with, implement data, implement AI, and all that. Those are the things that you need to talk about. Those are the things you need to think about. How can you position yourself to be better and not remain the way you are at the moment? Now, the next thing you need to understand is CV and LinkedIn profile has to be optimized. Okay, has to be ATS friendly. Has to be ATS friendly. Now, if you don't have an optimized CV or you don't have a UK standard CV or whatsoever, it's going to make it very difficult for you to get a good job in the UK. And you see, even me when I moved to Ireland, when I was in the UK, I didn't know these things. I didn't know. Like, I was using my Nigerian CV to apply for jobs in the UK, and I got a lot of rejection. And I had people around me back then that would tell me if Ifemena is because of your name. When they see Ifemena E-Pro, they know it's not English, it's not UK name, they will send you rejection email. Some people said it's because of my experience. Some people said, people would say whatever to rationalize the reason why you're getting that rejection or why you've not gotten a job. I'll tell you, number one thing is, if nobody is reaching out back to you, like you submit a CV, all right, and nobody's reaching out to you to say, oh, we saw your CV, Peter. We saw your CV, Michael. We saw your CV, Ifemena. We saw your CV. Nobody's reaching out to you. You have a terrible CV. Your CV is just not working. That's what it means. Okay? So if you apply for 10 jobs and 10 of them come back as rejection, something is wrong with your CV. And that's the honest fact. Okay? And those are the things that you need help with because you cannot do it by yourself. I tried doing it by myself and it took me 2 years for me to get a job. Do you want to take another 2 years to get your own job? Likely not the same thing. Those are the things that you need to be honest with yourself with. Has anybody sent you a message on LinkedIn to say that you have a fantastic profile and they want to talk to you? There's this role that is coming up, would like to talk to you. Has anybody sent you this kind of message before? If the answer is a no, then your LinkedIn profile is not optimized. So these are the information that you likely don't know that even exists. And remember, like I said earlier, be aware, be smart, be exceptional. So what makes people exceptional? What made me get a job? Or what will make it easy for me to get a job if I move to a new country is because I understand the things that I need to have, in terms of my CV, in terms of my LinkedIn profile, in terms of how I interview. And the last one that I have there is your past experience. Your past experience is not useless. It's not useless. You're coming from, you're moving into the UK and you're a customer service representative. So if you look at the picture I have here, you see it here, all right? You started as a care worker, you moved from care worker to becoming a customer rep, from becoming a customer rep to be working as a business analyst or a project manager. Now, these two experiences that you have, are they useless? Because you want to work as a business analyst, does that mean that the other two experiences that you have become useless? Absolutely no. No. So you are working in Nigeria as a bank, I don't know what you're doing, as a marketer. So you're marketing, you're selling products or something, all right? But you move to the UK now and you're looking to become a data analyst. How do you leverage your marketing experience into data analytics or data science, all right? Or you want a business in Nigeria, okay, and you're looking to move into the UK to becoming a cybersecurity analyst. How do you use your business experience to becoming a cybersecurity analyst? Those are the things that you need help with. They are not useless. Those experiences are not useless. You just need to ask the right questions. How do I leverage my past experience into this career path I want to get into? Somebody was asking the question, majority of the roles within data science request you to have minimum of 3 years. So you need to ask yourself, what have I been doing in the last 3 years of my life? Okay, oh, I've worked as a plumber. As a plumber, I moved to becoming a mechanic. From mechanic, then I also worked as a customer service representative in UBA Bank before I relocated. So you've done plumbing, you've done carpentry, and you've done, customer service. How do you leverage those experiences in getting a job within data science? Those are the honest questions you need to ask yourself. How do I leverage my past experience? That's exactly where we come in to help you leverage your experience to get it started. All right. And number 7, which is the last one I have there, 7 things that I have there, is learn how to navigate the job market. Okay? Learn how to navigate the job market. So we have contract roles, we have full-time roles, and we have sponsored roles. How do you navigate to getting these job roles? How do you navigate to get sponsored job at the end of the day? Where do you go to get sponsored job? And let me tell you the one thing that I use personally, okay, was very simple. I never applied to any sponsored job. Personally, I did never, when I was in Ireland, when I was in the UK, I personally did not for one day sit down and search for sponsored job in Ireland, sponsored job in the UK, and I never did it. But I got sponsored jobs. How? Applying to jobs that were contract position because I knew that there were lesser demand in those categories of full-time positions. Okay, so everybody was still applying regardless, but I felt a lot of people were focused more on sponsored job. Okay, because if you see a job that has sponsorship on it, everybody will want to apply to it. Everybody, even people that have sponsorship will want to change their job, they will also apply to that job. Okay, but you see, recruiters started to see that, people that are not even competent were applying to those kind of jobs. So they removed sponsorship. So you would hardly see a post on LinkedIn today that says sponsorship is available. Okay, no, doesn't work that way. So I started applying to any type of job, literally. And guess what? I got one job as a contractor. I was working as a business systems analyst with that company. Okay, and guess what? Performing well on the job, just doing my job, just doing my daily tasks, just performing above expectations, slightly above expectation. When it got to, I think I was about 3 months into the role, I requested if I could be sponsored. I spoke to my direct boss, okay? And the boss was telling me, oh, yeah, sure. Your visa situation is complicated, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, I will speak to HR on the behalf. And that's literally how I was sponsored in the UK. All right? Well, fast forward again, 6 months down the line with that same organization, I left that organization to another organization. And guess what? That other organization also sponsored again. So I'm not saying people should be risk. I was taking a lot of risk. Okay, because I was young at the time, so I felt I could easily just be jumping up on now to get what I was looking for. Okay, but I also wanted to relocate to Canada, so I knew my time in the UK I didn't want to spend the rest of my years in the UK, so I had planned to move to Canada. But long story short, what I was looking at is I didn't apply to any sponsored job, but every job I was getting in the UK eventually sponsored. Okay. Eventually were able to sponsor my visa. Only one of them was not able to sponsor, and I made a very good. That was a very. I never knew they were. I thought it was every organization in the UK that could sponsor. And that's part of what we call navigating the job market. Okay, so you'll see if you go online today, I'm going to go online and I'm going to show you something real quick. So if I say companies, okay, that can sponsor visa in the UK. All right. So you see, there's the licensed list of sponsored workers in the UK. There's a list. It's a very big list. But unfortunately, I was able to get a job with one company that couldn't sponsor my visa. So, and that's when I started to look in depth to find out, where is this list of organizations I need to be targeting. So you see it here. This is a list of companies in the UK that can actually sponsor your visa. All right. So you see over here, we have the, let me just reduce this a little bit. Okay. So you see here, we have the route. So skilled work visa, and this is the organization that can sponsor you. So let me add a filter. Let me quickly add a filter so we can do a little bit of filtering. Okay. So I'll filter it to skilled work visa. I'll filter it to skilled work visa. So there are quite a number of other visas that are there. There's the global talent. There are quite a number of, you see the global business mobility. We have the international agreement. We have the intra-company transfer. We have seasonal worker. We have scale up. We have quite a number of visa types. Okay, visa types in there. So if you want to know more, I literally created a video on YouTube. Okay, so you can check it out on YouTube. Just go on YouTube. Okay, search for Amdari. Search for Amdari, okay, and you should follow us while you're doing this anyways. Okay, search for Amdari and search for immigration. Just go to videos and search for UK immigration. Okay, I can send the videos to you guys at the end. If you create your, what do you call it? If you fill the form, we'll also send the videos to you so you can know more about immigration in the UK, all right, and the visa types that you need to visa and all that you need to get into the UK, all right. So you see it here, how to identify companies that can, how to identify companies with history of sponsoring visas in the UK. So you see this, literally, it's a very detailed video on what you need to do, all right, in getting started within the UK. All right. Companies that can sponsor you. So basically, these are skilled workers. These are organizations that can sponsor you, and these are the cities. So if you're currently in Manchester, for example, I'm going to just select Manchester, and you'll see the list of companies in Manchester that can actually sponsor you. Okay. So let me just select Greater Manchester, Manchester. Manchester. Okay, you know what? Let me just select all the Manchesters. Okay, so let me just say Manchester. Boom. So you see, every company in Manchester over here can sponsor you on a skilled worker visa. So you can start to target these people. Okay, you can start to target this organization to say that, okay, I'm looking for sponsorship. Here are companies that can actually sponsor me in the UK, all right, in Manchester. But you could also filter to your own city or your desired city. So rather than you aimlessly just applying to any organization online, you could actually target some of these organizations that can actually sponsor you. So for the guys in Manchester, okay, you have over 2,600 companies that can sponsor you. You have over 2,600 organizations that can sponsor your visa. So, if you take a look at 2,600 is a lot, okay? So, if you can take out maybe every week, you do like maybe 100 organizations or maybe 50 organizations every week. Within a month, you would have done over 200, okay? Within 2 months, you would have done over 400 organizations. So if you're desperate and you do more than 20 a week, you're going to do more. You're going to actually get it better. So that's literally what I had to settle with. So I understand the companies that could sponsor me, okay? And this is part of what I talk about navigating the job market. So you see, be aware is one of the major things that you need to, especially if you're in a new country or not in your own country. Just having that information that is slightly above the next person puts you at a greater advantage. Okay, so these are the 6 things that you need to have. Okay, the skills, work experience, high salary, indefinitely to remain. So you need to consider, can you do that menial job for the next 10 years? Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. CV and LinkedIn profile, do you have a CV that can actually convert? Your past experience is not useless. You can leverage it in the career path you want to go into. And navigating the job market. Very interesting. So now, identifying the gap. Okay, this is you currently, customer service representative. You're just about to finish your master's or you've completed your master's. Okay, you got sponsored in another career just for sponsorship, or you are currently in another country looking to move to the UK. So three set of people. The first type of people are people that just completed your masters, or you are still in the process of completing your masters. The next set of people are those people that probably got sponsorship in another career path, like in care, okay? And they are currently looking at how to transition away from that. Number three, you are currently based in another country and you want to move to the UK, to live and work in the UK. All right. Oh, better still, you just, like somebody talked earlier, I can stay in the UK. This session is not for me. It's also still for you, because at the end of the day, you need a better job. Everybody needs a better job. Even if you're not speaking to you, I need a better pay. I need something that pays me better. But the honest question you need to ask yourself, there are three questions you need to ask yourself every single time. Three questions. And these questions are, what skills do you have? What skills do you have? You have software engineering skills, you have data analytics skills. Fantastic. Now, what is your CV conversion rate? If you apply to 10 jobs, how many of them will come back with, I want to speak to you? Can we meet you? Can I get to talk to you? How many of them will call you back after applying to 10 jobs? If your answer is 0, something is wrong somewhere, okay? Then the last one is, are you confident in selling yourself? So even if your CV is able to convert 2, okay, when it eventually call you, okay, and oh, we want to talk to you, we want to meet you, would you be able to sell yourself during the interview? That is the important question that you need to ask yourself. That's the important question you need to ask yourself. So 3 questions, very simple question. What skills do you have? What's your CV conversion rate? And are you confident in selling yourself? All right. How do you move from being a customer service rep to becoming a data engineer? Those are the kind of questions you need to ask yourself. Okay. So, at the end of the day, you want to get a sponsored job, you want to get a great job with great salary and great perks. Those are the things that you're looking for. But in order for you to move from where you are today to where you want to be, there is a gap. And that gap is these 3 questions you need to ask yourself. The skills that you have, the CV conversion rate. Because if you have all the best skills in the world and you have a good CV, nobody is going to reach out to you. Literally, nobody's going to call you. And the last but not the least is, are you confident in selling yourself? Tell me about yourself. Can you tell me about yourself? Can you tell me about your experience? How can you leverage your past experience in the career path you want to go into? And you can sell it perfectly. Those are the honest questions you need to ask yourself, okay? Now, you see, everybody wants to apply. I'm pretty sure the reason why some people join the session today is, where do I apply for sponsorship job? Where do I get sponsored jobs? Where do I get the sponsored jobs and all that? Everybody wants to apply. But the key thing here is, you need to learn, you need to package yourself, then you need to apply. You need to learn the first thing. That's the first thing you need to learn. You need to learn. So those skills that you say you have today, somebody has learned it 2 years ago, another person probably just started learning. The key thing here is, in order for you to get that high-paying job, you need to learn first, you need to package yourself, and you need to apply. So when you're talking about learning, it's learning an in-demand tech skill. And I talked about 8 of them already. Data analytics, data science, business analysis, data engineering, project management, SOC, which is cybersecurity, ethical hacking, which is cybersecurity, and GRC, which is also a part of cybersecurity. Now, employability, CV review and revamp, LinkedIn optimization, mentorship, interview preparation, job reference, and all the job support. So you see, learning the skill, becoming employable, that's the packaging I was talking about. So packaging yourself basically means you are rebranding yourself. So your CV, your LinkedIn profile, you're getting mentorship help, you're getting interview preparation help, you're getting job reference, letter. So when you apply for a job and they need a reference, you need somebody that will back up your experience. And last but not the least, on the job support, then you know that you can start to apply aggressively because you know it and you look like it. It means that you can likely get a job. So you have the skills, and you have packaged yourself. So you personally look like you have the skills. You will easily get a job. And those are the things that we are doing currently with Amdari to see how we can help people position themselves a lot better. So currently, this is you in the middle. So what we do for you is we help you review and revamp your CV. So that CV that you're using to apply for jobs that nobody's calling you, and you think it's because of your first name and your last name, is a lie. No, nothing like that. Nothing about you. Okay? And you think it's because of your past experience. Don't worry. That's exactly what we have to do for you. All right? LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn optimization basically works like search engine optimization. If I go on Google today and I go and search for the best restaurant near me, Google is going to give me the best results first. That's the same thing on LinkedIn. So if I go on LinkedIn today, let me just do a quick test, okay? You see, for the guys in the UK, I'm going to do a quick test for the guys in the UK. All right? So we'll see if your profile will appear. We have quite a number of people on the call today. Give me a second. Just going to go on LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you something. Okay? Okay? So let's go on LinkedIn. Let me show you exactly what happens. All right? So if I come here today and I search for, let's say, data analyst, Manchester, UK, United Kingdom. Okay. So this is how LinkedIn optimization works. Okay. So if I'm a recruiter and I'm looking to hire somebody that's a data analyst that lives in Manchester, in the United Kingdom, and probably has Power BI skills, rest of Power BI, I'm going to click on enter and it's going to search. Okay. It's going to search. So you see the top set of people that are going to pop out. Okay. This is where LinkedIn optimization comes in play. This is where LinkedIn optimization comes in play. So you see, obviously, I need to get my sales navigator and all that, but this is just a common search, just even a search. Okay, so you see this person now, data scientist, past data analyst, and if you look at the person's experience, Power BI will be mentioned in there. The person lives in Manchester and all that. So you see another one here. This is the Sweden. Okay, Power BI is there. Data analyst is in the name. So how do you optimize your LinkedIn profile? So that when a recruiter comes in to search for certain keywords that's pertaining to your own career path, you appear in the first page. You're not in page 377. You're not in page 8 or page 10 or page 12. How do you appear in the first page? That's LinkedIn optimization, because most recruiters will do this to search and head on to people rather than going and posting it on LinkedIn to search for it. Okay, so that's LinkedIn optimization. Navigating the job market. How do you navigate the job market? What kind of jobs can you apply to? As a data analyst, as a business analyst, as a project manager, what type of jobs can you apply to? So you see a lot of people that say, I'm a business analyst. I'm looking for business analyst jobs. But do you know you could actually apply for process analyst? Process analyst roles, change management roles, business systems analyst roles, even some data analyst roles. So you see, if you go online today and you go and search for, if I go to jobs, and I go to, let's say, and I search for business data analyst, you can actually get jobs as a business data analyst. Okay. All right. There are jobs that are called business data analyst. And those are the things that you need to know. What kind of jobs can you apply to? That's exactly what you need to ask yourself. Interview preparation. All right. So how do you answer questions? Tell me about yourself. How do you answer that question during an interview? If you're going there and you want to freestyle your answer, you're likely going to fail. Now, the key thing that you need to take away again out of today's session is, if first you're applying for jobs and nobody's calling you, something is wrong with your CV. Okay? So if you're here and you apply to jobs and nobody responds to your job applications, something is wrong with your CV. Now, if people respond to your CV, but you go for the first level and you never pass through the first level, it's because you don't have good interview skills. Okay? It's not because you are African, it's not because of your accent, it's because you don't have good answers to your question. Okay? So number one, bad CV, no conversion. Number two, you get a first level interview, but you never scale the first level interview. It's because you don't know how to answer questions, interview questions. The third level, if you don't pass through that third, the second level interview, it basically means you are not very good technically. Okay? So majorly the first level is usually HR. Second level is with your direct reports, the person that you're reporting to, that you'll be reporting to, or you'll be working alongside with. So if you're not good technically, all right, the second level is going to be dropping you off. Okay, so you can even bypass the first level, but the second level is where you'll not be asking you about your experience, the technology stack that you use, and kind of projects you worked on. You'll walk us through a project. We're going to give you a data set to go and analyze. We're going to give you a scenario to come and present on. That's usually like the second level. Okay, the third level is with leadership. Okay, can you sell yourself to the leadership team? So I'm just looking at the scenario where it's about 3 levels. Okay, some levels about 3, 4, 5, depending on the organization. But typically it is HR first, the direct report first, your direct boss or the person you're reporting to, and that's basically it. So if you apply for jobs currently and you're not getting any interview, the CV is bad. If you get first level and you never pass through first level, you're not good with interviews. If you pass first level but never scale the second level, you are not good technically. You don't have enough experience. That's exactly what it is. Now, number 5 is mentorship session. Mentorship. Okay, so you see what we've discussed today, all right? It's because I know it. And what I read for the entire week, all my experiences, is what I'm trying to fit into like an hour, 30 minutes. Okay? Then we have job reference letter. Okay, and that's exactly what mentorship does for you. You just the basically thing is follow Unuru, follow the person that knows the way. If I've never been somewhere before, I'm going to, from now, let's say I'm moving from here and I'm going to Bristol in the UK. I've never been to Bristol before. I will likely find it difficult to navigate my road, okay? To move from Canada to the UK, from the UK, let's say I don't fly directly to Manchester, I fly to Manchester, how do I navigate from Manchester to Bristol? But if I'm going with somebody that has been there before, I literally don't have to think too much, okay? The person is literally leading the way, and I would likely get there faster and more efficient, okay? That's exactly what mentorship does for you. Now, job reference basically backs up your application process. You say you're a business analyst, you say you're a data analyst, you say you're a project manager, you say you're a cybersecurity analyst. Can you show me proof? Can somebody back up your experience? That's exactly where the job reference letter comes in. And that's exactly what Andari does for you. And last but not the least is on the job support. So a lot of you are scared. What if I get the job and I cannot deliver on the job? That's exactly why we have on the job support. Okay? So even on the job, you don't know what to do. Hello, Ifemena. Hello, Omomi. Hello, this. Hello, coach. Hello, specialist. How can you help me out with this particular task? And you have somebody there that is willing to help you answer this question. So you see, you have everything together. But remember, it's more about positioning yourself. It's more about positioning yourself. And somebody already asked this question earlier. You need 2 to 3 years experience. And that's exactly what we do with Andari. And what we do essentially is we give you projects, okay, based off real life situations, based on real life experiences. Okay, we give you this project. I'm going to show you some of the projects you get to work on. So without wasting too much time, let me even show you. It takes me just a few minutes for me to show you. All right. So I'm going to come here to my browser and I'm going to show you a typical project. Okay. So what career path are you interested in? So I can show you the project in that career path. Okay. What career path are you interested in? Let me show you that on GRC for the start before people start commenting on what career path I need to show them. So you see, this is one of the career paths that you're going to be looking at. Okay, so let me just take a look at. This is a phishing campaign. This is a phishing silver line phishing campaign exercise. This is a case study for the guys in GRC. So if you're interested in GRC, this is one of the projects, one of the type of projects you're going to work on. Okay, so if you take a look at this, okay, if you take a look at this, So you have the company overview, you have the business problem, you have the project scope, and you have the business impact. So now let's take a look at this. The company overview, consulting technology company, headquarters is based in the UK. The service is cloud software, digital transformation, and all that, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is one of the kind of projects, and the major business problem here is there's been a rise within the organization. There's been a rise in phishing attacks. Okay, regulatory requirements for security awareness, employee suspects and gaps in user awareness, potential risk of financial losses, data breaches, and regulatory penalties. So this is one of the case studies you're likely going to be working on. Okay, so you see it here, phishing campaign exercise reports. Okay, background: Silverline is regularly targeted by both random and focused phishing and malware attacks. The impact of these attacks can cause considerable financial losses, personal and business loss, and all that. So approach: we requested a third party to perform phishing vulnerability assessment to identify the risk of phishing attacks within the organization. So you see, these are the things that you're going to be working on. You know, these are the things that you are going to be working on in Jersey. You're going to be simulating phishing attacks. You're going to be learning the technical aspect of everything. You're going to be learning how to report, how to implement, so on and so forth. So even in data science, the same thing. The same thing with data science, okay? Same thing with data science. One of the projects they are currently working on the one they just concluded on is, just give me a second. So this is the project, okay? All right, so you see it here, AI Powered University. So now this is an AI chatbot that you're going to be developing using your own LLM models, okay? Your large language models. So AI Powered University Course Advisor chatbots. So rather than you just using a ChatGPT wrapper, how can you build your own AI application for a university? So you see this is Northbridge University, founded in 1987, serves over 25,000 students and recognized for its digitally enhanced education and research initiatives. So the problem here is students frequently struggle to navigate course catalogs, academic regulations. Human academic advisors are overloaded with repetitive queries, resulting in delays and inefficiencies. So they want to use, how can you train an AI chatbot on your own information, on your own business information? That's basically what they're trying to do. So they want to guarantee 24/7 academic guidance, reduce reliance on staff, easy navigation of complex documents, scalable AI solution. So that's basically what you're going to be doing. So for this particular project, you're going to be implementing AI, and that's exactly, most of the projects you're going to be working on are going to be machine learning, AI related within data science. What about project management? If you're interested in project management, what kind of projects would you be working on? All right, so you see the first one that they have here is, let's just take a look at it real quick. Phoenix Tech, okay? So this is a stakeholder management case study. All right, so Phoenix Tech is a mid-sized software service company with over 500 employees. So rather than you going to learn rather than you going to buy a course on project management, why not implement? Why not learn from implementation? And you have coaches that will literally hold your hands and guide you through the project itself. Okay? Coaches that will literally hold your hands and guide you through the project. So you have the project, you have the business problems, you have the business challenges and all that, okay? And then you have the coach that is working with you. So you see definition of the Dawn cover, the team name, the review date, everything work with you. So rather than you trying to figure out things yourself, you have a coach that can literally hold your hands and guide you through the entire process. And that's exactly what you need, honestly. Okay. So across all the career paths, the same thing with SOC. Okay. So if you're interested in SOC, it's the same process. So you see the materials are there, and you have access to all the materials. You have lifetime access to everything, to be honest with you. All right, so you take a look at this: threat intelligence investigation and Yara detection, rule development at this particular organization. So the organization is a digital identity and blockchain security provider headquartered in Barcelona, Spain. So you see, these are organizations based on real organizations, based on real experiences, and you're going to be using these experience as your own. Okay, so you can put it on your CV that you currently work with Gary, and these are the kind of projects you've worked on, these are the kind of organizations that you've dealt with or worked with in the past, so on and so forth. So that's basically how Amdari helps you gain experience. So rather than you go and pay for a course or pay for another bootcamp, why not deliver on projects? Okay, why not work on project? Why not get your hands dirty? And that's exactly what we do. So you are assigned a mentor that would hold your hands and guide you through the solutions. And also some of them will be self-paced where you get to work on them by yourself, and the specialists provide answers or guidance to your solution. So you see, these are things that you need to gain work experience. And that's the way Amdari works. Okay. So we have a course starting on the 9th of August, okay? And I'm going to talk about that in a few seconds. So Amdari is a one-stop shop. We provide you with learning resources. So in terms of learning resources, if you create an account, once you register and you create an account, you get access to what we call the Learn page. You get access to what we call the Learn page. I'm going to show you that in a few seconds so you can see for yourself. It's not like I'm just talking without any form of proof, okay? So with the internship program, you also get access to Learn, okay? So you have short courses that you can actually learn with. So if you're in project management, for example, you have a ton of courses in here that you can start to watch. You have a ton of crash courses, I'll say. So project management fundamentals, introduction to project management, the project initiation phase, the project planning phase, leadership and communication techniques. You see all the short courses are there. If you are in, let's say, take for example, you are in data science and you're interested in data science, introduction to data science, Excel and statistics, introduction to Python for data science, computer vision, machine learning, Python, so on and so forth. What about cybersecurity? Do you have courses on cybersecurity? Absolutely, yes. We have courses on cybersecurity. So you see, everything is there to give you the experience. Okay. So while you're even learning during the internship program, you also have access to the Learn, where you can also take short courses, okay? And you also have access to Amdari Portfolio. So it's a portfolio page on the website that allows you to build your own portfolio without writing a single piece of code. So this is my own portfolio at the moment, and you can see the number of projects I've gotten to work on. You can see my portfolio site. You can see quite a number of things in there. So you can see I am a Femina co-founder from Canada, available for IR and data projects, delivering insight, shaping data solutions. So you get access to this for free. All right. So coming on the program, you have access to the Learn page for free. You also have access to the portfolio page for free. So these are things that would enhance your visibility within the job market. Now for packaging, we help you with CV revamp and review, LinkedIn optimization, mentorship and career coaching, interview preparation, job reference, and on-the-job support. These things come at your free will. Okay, so we help you review your CV. Okay, we help you with LinkedIn optimization. We help you with mentorship. We help you with interview preparation. We help you with job reference, and we help you with on-the-job support. So you see quite a number of things, okay, that we're going to help you with. And we also help you with application process, okay? Where to apply for jobs, how to apply for jobs, so on and so forth. So learn, package, and apply. Everything is within one blanket platform, which is called Amdari, okay? So rather than you going to pay for another bootcamp, this is what you need. Work on projects, learn, we help you with packaging, and then we also help you with where to apply, how to apply, or where to apply for jobs. So we have a new course starting on the 9th of August, okay? Now, a lot of you will say August is far. We are still in June, okay? A lot of you will say, oh, August is in 2 months. What do I need to start doing now? I want to start today. I want to start now. Yes, the life projects you're going to be working on is going to start in August. And one thing that we've noticed, okay, one thing that we've clearly noticed is a lot of you say you've taken courses. Like somebody was very truthful to say that 2 years, they've done that for like the last 2 years and they are rusty. But it's very difficult for most people to say that, okay? So what we have done is we have an interim program that is starting in June, okay? We have the program starting in July, which is next month, okay? So even though your live project is going to start in August, so what we're going to be doing in July is mentorship, okay? We're going to be doing mentorship, and we're also going to be doing what we call training, okay? So to ensure that once you start your projects, you can start to handle your projects, by yourself. So you see, even though the program is starting on the 9th of August, The month of July is going to be invested into CV review. So we're going to help you review your CV, one. Number two is we would start to train you. Okay, we'll start to train you on certain technologies, certain tools, so on and so forth. So even within a month, you would have learned new technologies. You would have had your CV review and revamped. You would have started, to understand how to navigate the job market and all that. And you would have even worked on some projects. You would have handled some projects by yourself within that 1 month before you now delve straight into the internship. So the month of July, you won't be doing it, and you won't be doing nothing. You will be working, you'll be learning, you'll be working on projects, you'll be working on your CV and all that. So once you start with your experience, you can start eating the ground running with application, trade out your applications, looking for jobs, going for interviews, and so on and so forth. So you see the month of July, you're going to be investing heavily into your learning capacity and also your packaging capacity, LinkedIn optimization, CV review, and so on. All right. So the program is for 3 and 6 months. So if you want to be a part of this program, you need to start now, not tomorrow, not next week. You need to start now. So in order for you to position yourself, we have the 3 months internship and we have the 6 months internship. So in the month of July, you're actually getting it for free. It's free of charge. You're not paying for it. Okay? It's free of charge. The month of July is literally for free. So the program starts on the 9th of August, but the month of July, we're going to be using it for a lot of learning. You're going to be learning. You're going to be working on mini projects, short projects for you to gain that experience in new technologies and new tools and so on. So 3 months internship, we have it discounted. So you're getting a discount of £110. So rather than you paying £500, you can actually pay £390. Now you don't have to pay 300. You don't have to pay everything together on the call. You don't have to pay everything today. All right, you can actually pay in installments, and I'm going to show you that in a few seconds. Now, if a 6 month internship, you also, instead of paying £900, you could actually pay £750, and you don't have to pay everything at once. Okay. Now, for the guys in cybersecurity, who are interested in cybersecurity, it's all for 3 months. So rather than you pay £500, you could actually pay £390. That's not fantastic. And you can pay in 3 or more installments. And let me show you that. So you will see that my colleagues in the chat are dropping the links to the chat. So all you need to do is just click on the link in the chat. Okay. Once you click on the link in the chat, it takes you to the page. Okay. It takes you to the main stack page. Now, this is where you find everything you need to know about enrollment. Okay. So you see the 3 months, data analytics 3 months, data analytics 6 months. So depending on which one you're interested in, all right? You have the data science 3 months, and you have the data science 6 months. You have the data engineering 3 months, and you have the data engineering 6 months, depending on what you're looking for. So if you're interested in the 3 months program, let's say you're interested in the data analytics 3 months program, you open a new page. Once you click on 3 months, it takes you to a new page. And in this page, you can see you can either pay a one-time payment, a 2-time payment, or a 3-time payment. So today, all you need to, if you're selecting 3-time payment, you could actually pay in 3 installments. Okay, that's £130 today, £130, in July, and £130 in August. Okay, and you can complete your payments, and you get access to everything, lifetime access to the materials, lifetime access to the projects you're going to be working on, CV review, LinkedIn optimization, and so on and so forth. So you see, 3 months, all you can do is pay £130 today to get secured for the program. Okay. Now, if you're interested in 6 months, what happens? You can click on 6 months. So the discount is £750. Okay. So you can either pay a one-time payment or you can pay in 5 monthly installments. So £150, you get access to everything. Once you pay £150, you start in July, you start next month. That's like in the next couple of days. We start with your CV review, we start with you working on projects, we give you materials to learn, you assign a coach also that would assist you in your start with employability and all that. The live program and the core project you're going to be working on starts in August. But before that, like I said, to guarantee your quality, to guarantee your learning experience, you need to brush up certain skills that you have before you jump straight into the internship. And that's exactly what we're doing for you. All right. So £750, you can pay in 5 installments. click on secure internship, and you see a breakdown. GBP 150 pounds for the next 5 months, and that's it. You get access to the internship, you get access to materials, you get access to LinkedIn optimization, CV review, how to navigate the job market, and so on and so forth. Now, who's getting started with me? I want to see. Let me see. All right. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. I'm happy to take your questions, and all that. I know Foster and Miriam have been raising up their hand from the beginning, so I'll probably take them in the next few minutes. So essentially, that's the case. All right. So all you need to do, if you're interested in 3 months, click on 3 months. If you're interested in 6 months, click on the 6 months program, and you are good to go. You're good to go. 100% good to go. Okay. So just scroll down to look for the career path that you're interested in. Project management is there. You see 3 months and you see 6 months. SOC analyst, ethical hacking, you have 3 and 6 months. You have 3, 6 months for the career path. So select the ones that you're interested in. If it's GRC, that's governance, risk, and compliance. You can pay one-time payment, or you can pay in 3 monthly installments of £130. That's the things that you need to do to them. So, that's in terms of payment. So, and once you make your payment, all you need to do, this discount actually elapses today, today's Saturday, so it elapses tomorrow. All right. So, we're looking at people getting started. So, this discount is only for today, tomorrow. So, if you want to take advantage of it, you need to take advantage of it now, not tomorrow, not next week. So we can start to work with you, start from next month, and then you can jump straight into your desired career in the next couple of weeks. So you see, once you've made your payments, click on the payment registration form and fill the form. Okay. So once you've made your payments, let's take, for example, you're interested in GRC. You click on secure internship. You click on proceed. You put in your name, your email, and you put in your phone number. You click on proceed and you make your payment. You'll be redirected to this page. That's the registration form. Okay. Or better still, you could always come back here and click on the payment registration form. All right. So once you click on that, it takes you to this page and you can fill in the information that you have there. Okay. You can fill in the information that you have there. All right. So you can put in the screenshot of the payments that you've made. You can also specify if it's 3 months or 6 months plan that you're interested in. All right. And you can go ahead with every other information that you have in there. So if you are due for 6 months, you can select 2 different career paths. So you can select SOC analyst and you can select GRC. Okay. Or you can select data analyst for the first 3 months and you can select data science for the next 3 months. So depending on what you're looking for. So you see, these are the kind of benefit that you get again for going for a 6 months internship. You get 2 internships at the same time at a discounted rate, okay, at an heavily discounted rate. Okay, so you can select that. And obviously we started on the 9th of August, but like I said, we started on the 9th of August, but the month of July, it's not empty. You're going to be working on projects, you're going to be working on more self-projects, you're going to be working on learning materials, you're going to be working on the CV. We're going to be doing all of that for you within a month before the program starts. So if you're interested in getting started, I'd say secure your discounts now and get started now. All right. So how about me without any knowledge in any of the tools? I'm still in basic Python. How can I meet up in a month before the internship? So, I usually tell people that the best way for you to learn is for you to work on projects. Okay. So I don't know how to build software applications, but do I need to go and learn, everything? Or how do I leverage AI? How do I leverage the tools, technologies for me to learn it? Is by working on projects. Okay. So what I would recommend essentially is if you are willing to learn, okay, if you're willing to learn, I'm telling you, learn. So the normal thing, what I tell most interns that are coming in, if you can do like an hour every day, that's fantastic. So if you're doing 1 hour every day, at the end of the week, Monday to Friday, if you do 1 hour, Monday to Friday, it means that you have 5 hours of learning, okay, that week. Now, for your situation, 1 hour might not be enough for you. You probably have to do like 2 hours. Now, if you can devote about 2 hours, maximum 2 hours, you can do 2 hours Monday to Friday, you would have done 10 hours of learning. So if the normal person that knows Python is doing 1 hour every day, you are doing 2 hours, you have done more You've done 10 hours of learning that particular week, more than the person that actually knows Python. I can tell you, fast forward 3-4 months into the future, you are likely to be way better than most people that actually know how to use Python. So, Anne, I won't discourage you. I'll tell you you're good to go. You're fine. As long as you're willing to learn, you're willing to put yourself in that difficult position to learn, then you're good to go, 100%. All right, so let me take questions now. Miriam, do you have a question? Miriam Mobolaji. Let me take your questions. And if you don't want to speak and you want to ask your questions in the chat, please do well to ask your questions in the chat. Do well to ask your questions in the chat. All right, Mobolaji, Miriam Mobolaji. Please, guys, do well to fill the attendance form so you can get access to the material, the recording of the session, and everything. Okay, so please do well to fill the attendance form so you can get access to all the material, the recording of the session, and so on. So, Ozzy, is it possible for people to unmute themselves?
Yes, yes. Yes,
Okay.
they can unmute the mic now.
Okay. Okay, Chuku, yes. Do you want to speak? Or Miriam, do you want to go ahead?
No, not yet. Let me. Somebody else.
Okay. So let me see. I don't think Miriam is speaking, so I'll just wait again. All right. So while we're waiting for other people to, if you have any questions, okay. So let me just show you some of the projects again that you get to work on. So just in a second, I'm just going to pull that up real quick. All right. So if I go back to the Google Classroom, okay. So for all the projects you're going to be working on, so it's going to come here. Okay, so take a look at data science. I'm going to take a look at this. And they started a new project just this weekend, just this week. So you take a look at the projects. I'm going to show you this in a few minutes. So this is a forecasting sales project. This is a forecasting project. So case study is forecasting sales for fast-moving consumable electronics. So in my own experience, data science and forecasting is fantastic, 5 and 6. So you see this. This is a company based in Canada. All right, and this is about the company, the key milestone for the company, the rationale of the project. Consumer electronics sales forecasting involves using historical data, behavioral patterns, and external market factors to predict future product sales with high accuracy. So what's the top reason for this project? Inventory optimization, revenue growth, competitive edge, customer experience, and operational efficiency. So the challenge at the moment, inaccurate demand forecasting, seasonality and blind spots, market disruptions, and so on and so forth. So the data description, you're going to be working with sales data, product data, promotion table, customer behavior table, and external factor table. So you see, it's a very extensive data set that would help you improve your forecasting skills as a data scientist. So the library you're going to be working with, Python, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Arima, Exponential Smoothly, random forest, gradient boosting, and feature extension. And you can also try out other machine learning projects also. All right, visualization, version control, you're going to be using Git and GitHub. Containerization, you're going to be using Docker for model packaging and deployment. So if you've never deployed your package before, deployed your machine learning to test and all that, you're going to be doing all that in the project, okay? Before this, they also worked on the customer churn project, okay? And this is also another project that we get to work on. So if we take a look at this is the recording of the session. Just give me a second. All right, this is the project recording of the session, and that's it. Okay, so data analytics is the same thing. I'm going to go to classwork. I'm going to move to the material. So you see all these materials are there. Okay, now this is another project, optimizing order fulfillment, a data-driven approach to eliminating backlogs, and Excel interactive dashboard. So you see, these are the things that you're going to be working on. So GRC, you're going to be working on Brook State Interiors, for example. So if I go there and I click on project overview, all right, you see all the information that you need about the project. Okay, all the information, all the things that you need to add at your beck and call. Literally everything is there for you to get started. Okay, so you see everything that you need is there. Okay, everything that you need is there for you in order for you to get started. So if you have any question, please do want to ask your questions. Miriam, okay, And that's project. Let's take a look at the June project for the guys in project management. So expense management automation. So let's take a look at this real quick. Okay. So this is the document. Okay. So this is the project management brief. Okay. Case study one. I want to talk about this. Okay. So expense management automation project for a fintech company. So FinGrowth. Okay. That's the name of the company. The project objective. So even project management, this is exactly what you're going to be working on. The company has a functional ERP system, Oracle NetSuite. Employees have access to mobile devices for on-the-go expense solution. And these are the assumptions that you're putting into play. The key stakeholders, the sponsor, the user, and the support team. Expectation of the PM across the 5 PM phases. So the initiation phase, the planning phase, and you see everything broken down for you as a project manager on what you need to do. Now, every session is recorded. You have all the recordings in here. So all the sessions are recorded and all of them are uploaded into the Google Classroom. So even if you miss a session or you miss a solution to one of the projects, you have access to the recording. And you can always, reach out to some of the specialists. We have a group chat where you can reach out to them and you can have a conversation. So what I usually tell people is, rather than you going to pay for another course, you could actually work on projects and gain experience. So not a certificate, work experience that you can actually use to get a job. So that's essentially the thing itself. All right. So any question? Let me take a look at the chat again. Any questions? For me, that won't be available every day because of my job. How do I go about it? So Jovita, you're not required every single day. Okay. So our live sessions happen between Monday to Friday in the evening, every evening, not every evening, twice every week in the evening. So it could be a Monday and Friday, it could be Tuesday and Thursday, depending on yourself and the class, can agree on the time that works for everybody in that particular session. Okay, so if everybody wants to meet at 9 p.m. Monday and Friday, that works. If everybody wants to meet every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m., that works. Okay, so depending on that. So it's only 2 times in a week that you get to meet with other members and specialists. So when I say that you need 1 hour devoted for yourself, I mean, that's you devoting 1 hour to say that I want to learn by myself. I want to work on this project by myself. That's the 1 hour that is needed from you. Okay, so I mean, if you can take out 1 hour to learn new technology, some of us spend more than 1 hour on our phones in a day. So this is you learning and implementing and getting experiences that you need to get a job. I mean, that should play a very big role. Okay, so that's the case itself. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Jovita. That's a unique name, I would say. Very unique name. All right. Yes. So we have the 3-month internship and we have the 6-month internship. Remember all the conversation that we had today. Remember that skill is one of the major things that puts your path when you're looking at immigration in the UK. All right. What happens in live sessions, for example, for the BA internship? Also, very good question. Okay. So let me just show you rather than telling you, I'll show you. So when you're looking at business analysis, okay. So for the business analysis, the good thing about our business analysis package or internship is you start with data analytics and then you transition into business analysis. The reason why we're doing this is within the job market, you need data skills as a business analyst. Okay, so majority of the roles require you to have Excel, Power BI, SQL skill sets in order for you to get a job. So it might not be every job, but I would say about 80 to 85% of the job role in the job market today within business analysis will require you to learn data analytics. So we usually start with data analytics. Okay, so I'll show you data analytics and I'll show you BA. Okay, so you can see the 2 of them. So take a look at this. This is the data analytics project. Okay, this is the live session. So you see, I'm just going to scroll down to one of the videos here. Okay, so you can see it for yourself. Okay, so this is Edidion, one of the specialists that's going to work. All right, so just give me a second. I'm looking for the project solution. Okay, so just. All right. All right, so this is a specialist walking you through the project. All right, so you are going to be solving this kind of case study in class, and you'll be working alongside specialists who underhold you and guide you through the solution. So the reason why we're starting with this, where the guardian, the specialist is walking you through the solution, is to ensure that we're all on the same page, that everybody's on the same page. Okay, so we have people that probably have used Power BI before, and we have people that have never used Power BI before. How can we bring those two people together in the same class and learn? That's the reason why we're doing the Glide. And it's on a very, very interesting project. Maybe I show you the project itself. Okay, so this is the project. So navigating the digital landscape, enhancing brand reputation with cutting-edge social media monitoring. So you're going to be doing a lot of analysis for social media data and all that. So in order for you to make informed decision, okay? So like I said earlier, we are going to be doing that alongside the specialist, and the specialist is going to be working with you on the live session, walking you through the solution of the case study, walking you through the solution of the case study. All right, so that's for the data aspect of business analysis. But now let's take a look at the BA, the core BA aspect, okay, the core BA aspect. So you see it here, integrating a centralized, let's take a look at the project, integrating a centralized, let's give it a second, integrating a centralized customer feedback system. So this is for Zara Escape. So welcome to the presentation of integrating the centralized customer feedback system at Zara Escape. Okay, what was Zara Escape? Zara Escape, established in 2013, is a mid-sized luxury travel hospitality group based in Santorini, Greece. It has expanded from a boutique resort operator to a chain of 20 beach resorts, beachfront properties across Aegean Islands and Mediterranean coast. So essentially, that's the business itself. The business challenge: fragmented feedback, minimal insights, slow response, no structured follow-up, and limited visibility. And here's the rationale of the project objective, and the scope of the project, and so on and so forth. So now, what are you going to be doing in your session? So you are going to be working alongside a specialist to design, all the things that you need to design for this. So from your process flow, from your process map to your process flow to everything that you need to do in order for you to build a solution for the organization, okay, for the organization. So that's basically what you're going to be learning. So you would have so you see this is process mapping. This was done in class, but let me just fast forward this. Okay, so this is part of the the case study that they are working on at the moment. Okay, so this is solution to the case study, and we're doing this alongside the specialist to complete the entire process itself. Okay, so this is also user stories. This is one of the live sessions that they had in class. So you have your specialist, and your specialist is walking you through the entire how to create one. So, like I said, majority of people are going to be taking this as beginners or people that are looking to gain experience. You've never done it before. You've heard of a user story, you've heard of process mapping, you've heard of BRD documents, but you really don't, in a real world situation, how do you build these things? That's exactly what we're going to be working on in the live sessions. So does that make sense? Does it make sense? Is it Ian, if it answers the question, okay? That's your question, I guess. Let me take one more question. I have a couple of questions. How many projects do you recommend I aim to complete with 3 and 6 months? So within 3 months, you should complete a minimum of 6 projects. Within 3 months, you'll complete a minimum of about 6 projects. It could be more, depending on the complexity and the timeline. It could be more, okay? So now, for the 6 months internship, you are likely going to be doing above 10 projects. So nothing less than 10 projects will be completed within 6 months. Now with the 6 months, you're going to be doing a bit more you'll be doing a bit more complex projects. Okay. So for that 3 months is usually beginner intermediate. But for 6 months, you're likely to be doing more in-depth, complex projects. Okay, so that's why you're going to be doing a minimum of 10. So it doesn't feel like, oh, you did 6 months in 3 months, so you're going to do 10 projects in 6 months. No, your projects are going to be a bit more encompassing. okay, than that of a 3 months project. Okay, so for 6 months you're going to be working on something more extensive, a bit more extensive, a bit more hands off. You working on the project yourself, you delivering on the project yourself, and you're learning from you making mistakes. So for 6 months, that's what you get. Okay, so you're still getting guidance, you still get access to your specialists, you still get to work with your specialists and get everything done and dusted. All right, so that's the case itself. Okay, additionally, would be obtaining a certificate meaningful improve your chance of landing a job? Absolutely no. Unfortunately, that's just a painful and honest truth. Okay, so if you go online today and I go to the company, I go to read.co.uk, all right, and I want to apply for a job, and I want to apply for, let's just assume you are a business analyst, okay, and I search for business analyst jobs, okay. This one came out 5 days ago, so let's take a look at this. You see, the key thing that